back to the Yo Hockey Show, and today we are talking about how the Stars have drowned and suffocated and sunk the ship of the Seattle Kraken as they win Game 7, taking home the series at home in Dallas with the rowdy crowd behind them, and they move on to go against the Vegas Golden Knights for the second time since 2020, which is kind of funny that those two teams, it's the same thing again, so kind of interesting there, but that's not what we're talking about. That's going to be a video for tomorrow. Today is about the Stars and the Kraken series. Now, the Kraken in this game, overall, this series was absolutely fantastic. I said it from the beginning. Watching these two teams in the regular season, their games were incredible. They have such a good chemistry against each other. And in the playoffs, especially with both these teams, the Kraken going through hell and fighting through the god-level team of the Avalanche, and the Wild series against the Stars, and how physical and emotional that one was, and that they got through that one, set up for a perfect series where these two were head-to-head the entire time. Sure, some games were blowouts, but it's not that the other team was, horrible. Just some nights, the one team's the one that's able to find that one tap that gets it in the back of the net more often than the other team does, right? Sometimes you just get, I don't want to say lucky, but kind of lucky. Hockey is a game of inches, and sometimes luck is what you need. And sometimes you get the 7-2 wins, the 6-3 wins, right? But this game was a disappointing one when it comes down to it, because it was a lazy ending by the Seattle Kraken, and I'm going to sum it all the way up at the end of this, because first off, the Stars should have easily won this game 19-1. They were all over the Seattle Kraken. Since the very second the puck dropped, the Kraken were not, I would say, out of the 60 minutes of the game, the Dallas Stars were in control of the game for 54 minutes out of the 60. They were in control 95% of the game. Sure, the Kraken, every team, you get your run in the other zone, you get your time in, right? But the shot attempts and the scoring chances were always double, not just period-wise, but over the entire game and periods and seconds. It was always doubled for the Dallas Stars, and they were robbed by Philip Grubauer. This guy, it was so funny watching him at the end of the game. He's going down the lineup. He's got the bit. You could see through his mask when he made those crazy good saves. He was smiling. Usually you don't see goalies smiling. They make the save and they're like, take off mask, spray some water on me. The Grubauer, you could see he was like, I made that save. I did make that save. He was he looked like a happy little boy who got a chocolate. He was like, I made that. And so that was really fun to watch. And Grubauer, it's fun to see guys who are just enjoying being good, you could see the entire time he was smiling in the lineup. So good job for Philip Grubauer. Easily, if the Kraken won the Stanley Cup, he gets the Conn Smythe, no doubt about it. The guy was freaking phenomenal. But not to rub away Jake Ottinger and the Dallas Stars being able to always bounce back after losses. When they lose games, not because they were dominated. I mean, sure, the one game against the Wild, maybe you could say that, but they're never pushed aside. Even in the game that they lost in Seattle was all over them, but Dallas just still fighting to get those goals whenever they can get them. This team is freaking deadly on every line, and when it comes to losing a game, this team, and Jake Ottinger especially, is a clutch team. This team is of clutch performers, playoff performers. Jake Ottinger is the next Andrei Vasilevsky, and by that and I've said in all my videos, if you are a frequent viewer of this channel, you will know that Jake Ottinger, in my opinion, he's the next Vasilevsky. And I know people are like, well, Shesterkin and Sorokin are the best goaltenders now. Maybe in the regular season, but when it comes to being that clutch performer in net and shutting down the other team, Jake Ottinger is the next one. During the regular season, he'll have an above 900 save percentage and a pretty decent, a 2.2 or 3 goals against average. Maybe 1 year, of course, he'll have a breakout year in the regular season. But when it comes to the playoffs, these guys shut everything down and they are on lock. He got pulled a couple times. I know that's all they wanted to freaking talk about was the commentary. All they wanted to say was about how many times, if he's going to be good in the head, that he was not going to doubt himself. But he is shown in Game 7s especially, and losing games. He's a clean at bouncing back in this playoffs after losing a game and winning and being in net in Game 7. He is a shutdown guy. And the Stars overall, the whole team, they never stay down. They've got the John Cena attitude, never give up. This team always fights, and they never let the psychology get to their head. Because if you're playing a game against your friend, like let's say you're playing NHL, right? You're doing everything right sometimes. You could have like 50 shots on net against them, and you only score like 2 goals, right? And the other team, your friend, he sucks at the game. He's not as good as you, but he gets a couple good goals because you had like one bad pass or something, and he only has like 10 shots on net, and the score is 2-1 somehow, right? Like, the Stars didn't allow them not being able to score get to them. They kept fighting. A lot of times you'll see teams where they're like, man, that didn't work. I don't know what to do now. And the Stars, they never did that. Robertson was so freaking close so many times. He tried scoring so many different ways. And that's my next point I want to bring up, is that the commentators actually brought this up as well. If Jason Robertson, with this team's depth performing the way it is, with guys like Pavelski scoring 8 goals in just this series alone, Rupe Hintz being the top, and now will probably pass Connor McDavid and be the #1 point scorer in the entire league in the playoffs at this point. If Jason, and just the whole team's depth as a whole, I mean, every single player, Dadonov, Ben, Sagan, Johnston, even guys like Radom Fox, like Glenn Dennings performing. Kivi Ranta looks amazing out there. Maybe not these guys getting a ton of points, but guys like Mason Marchment making a big difference for their team. And if Jason Robertson, it's not that he's playing bad. By no means is he being a bad player right now. He's not bad. He's snake bitten right now, and that happens. Sometimes, I mean, I'm sure anything in your life that you're good at something. Let's say you're good at darts or something, or pool, and sometimes you go on a stretch of like, oh my god, I can't do anything. I'm good at this. Like, I know I'm good, and I'm not playing bad. It's just I don't know anything about darts, but I'm not gonna compare that. But just like he should be getting 100 points, and he's just getting like 20, and it's like, I'm so close, I just can't score. They showed a stat that he has like 44 shots on net or something like that, but only like 2 goals, and it's like, the guy is not playing bad. He's all over the other team. He's forechecking hard. He looks great out there. He's being physical, but he just can't get in the back of the net, and you could probably blame Philip Grubauer for that one. So going in next year's, I think he's going to probably light up. I think a goaltender like Adin Hill probably won't be. Adin Hill's a great goaltender. I've seen him in person myself. He is a fantastic goalie. But something about him I think might be solved by Jason Robertson. And the way this Stars team is so deep, and they have goaltending, they have defense, they have the forwards, they have the superstars, the depth, the intensity, the grit, the drive. They've got all the pieces to be the Stanley Cup champions. They are the real deal. If you don't think so, you are insane. This Stars team, I'm sure everyone actually is convinced of this point, but this Star team is the real. They have all the components. A superstar defenseman that has all the minutes and shuts down plays is fantastic in the back. A goaltender who's clutch in the most important games and moments. And just the depth, the superstars, all of it. They've got every single piece of the puzzle. And that is why the Kraken lost. The Kraken, overall, this series, it could have gone either way. But the Seattle's main flaw, and what was good for them is their main flaw, and I think everyone knows this, the commentators, one of the few things that they actually say correctly is that, and I'm sure you've already read it now, is that they have a lack of superstars. They don't have a guy out there like a Rupe Hintz, like a Jason Robertson, even if he's snake-bitten. They don't have one of these guys, like a Hintz, a Robertson, a McDavid, a Nathan McKinnon, a Leon Draisaitl, and a Mitch Marner. Austin Matthews not so much in the playoffs this year, but Mitch Marner, guys like this who can make a game-changing play, to give a edge, a Matthew Tkachuk, to their team, who's going to get the puck, and he's going to be like, I'm going to just skate this puck in their zone. I'm going to keep it in. I'm going to make this crazy play in the slot where I dangle between 2 guys. I'm right there, and bam, off the post, and it gives our team some energy, some momentum, start the other team to back themselves up, be like, okay, we got to be more ready, prepared on defense, so they're not going to pinch so much in the offensive zone, make the other team scared to play high up there, make them play defense, right? They're missing a guy, and I gotta say, in Game 7 last time that they played against the Avalanche, I gotta say, the Kraken didn't look that good either then. The reason why they won is Oliver Bjorkstrand decided, I'm not dying today, and my team's moving on, and he decided to go in there and should have scored like 7 goals that game, but only got 2 or 3. 2? I forget. So, the the Kraken this game, it's the same story. They didn't have a guy, and usually that's like the good thing for them is that every game they have a different list of guys that could be scoring goals. But the issue that they have between them and a team, say the Panthers or a team like the Stars here, is that with your superstar guys, with the top guys in the league, you can bet on one of them getting a goal. Take a look at the Florida Panthers. They have the depth and the superstar. You can expect Matthew Tkachuk to get a goal or at least make a goal happen with an assist, and then another 2 guys down the depth scoring goals, right? That's what you can expect from them. The issue with the Seattle Kraken is that, sure, every 4 line could be dangerous, but they don't have a Batman, and I know that's going to sound really stupid, but they have every line is of Robins and Nightwings or something, where each line it's like, yeah, these are pretty good guys. These guys could easily beat the Penguins plan on their own, but they don't have the guy who's going to figure out Penguins plan. And I know that might sound really stupid, but if you understand me, you get what I'm trying to say, is that they don't have a Crosby who's going to make that big, like a Sagan in this game. Just one guy stepping up on the second line at this point, and he goes in there, toe drag, and then it's a big save by Grubauer. The Kraken didn't have this game. They didn't have a superstar guy step up and be like, I'm going to make the toe drag, spinorama shot, and give my team some energy, a boost of momentum. A guy like Cale Makar on the back end who can skate it from their own red line behind the net and can skate it all the way down the ice, going through players with speed and making the team be like, okay, if this guy gets the puck, we got to back up. The Kraken don't have a guy like that. They don't have a guy like McKinnon where it's like, okay, we got to get back here. We can't stay up here. And that's the issue. That's the issue, and I think this offseason, with the amount of cap space they have, even guys like Matty Beniers and Tolvanen probably taking a step forward, and Shane Wright as well, they're going to get these guys, and I personally think that they should be the number 1 team trying to get Erik Karlsson. I think their biggest issue is they don't have a superstar defenseman. Every winning team Vince Dunn is spectacular, but he would be the perfect pairing, or the second line pairing, to take a look at the Lightning. Hedman and Sergachev, right? Those two having their own lines. Huge. Take a look at the Bruins. Lindholm and McAvoy. Huge. Could you imagine if this team could add a 100-point score with the San Jose Sharks on the back end back there, with Vince Dunn being on the second line of defense, and that power play, how much more explosive it could be? That's what they're missing, is a player. And Erik Karlsson, you can watch his highlights. People don't know a lot of people I don't think realize what his biggest strength is, but he can dangle all the way through the zone. He can make circles and laps and hold the puck. That's what this Seattle team's missing. A guy, not a defenseman necessarily, but a guy like Patrick Kane, a guy like Karlsson, who can get the puck in the other zone and make the other team stand on their heels, make the goaltender clench up a little bit more. That's what this team's missing, because in this game, they didn't have a guy like that. No one stood up. Sure, guys like Yanni Gourde look good. Guys like Jared McCann were looking a little bit better. Guys like Eberle always look good, but people don't recognize that. Alexiak did look good, even though he flubbed the puck for one play. Other than that, they have good players, but they need a guy. They need that crown jewel, the diamond on top of the ring. That's what they need. They've got the most beautiful ring in the world with studs all around it, but they need that one piece that really sets them on fire, and that's what failed them this game. The Stars, they had a hint. They had a guy who's going to find that mystery puck, who's got the speed, who's got the hockey IQ, and this team's so smart when they play the game. So that's all I gotta say. Overall, fantastic series. I'm not like anyone on the Kraken are going to see this, but congrats to the Kraken. I think they're going to continue this. I don't think this is a fluke year. I think their young guys are going to get even better, and I think they're going to make a big move for a good player in the offseason, and I think it's going to work out spectacularly for them. And the Stars, rightfully so, move on. Go Stars again. Well, actually, I don't know who I want more than... I don't know if I like Vegas or the Stars more. Probably the Stars, but I don't know. But thank you for watching this. That's all I gotta say. So until next time, and if you've made it to this point, please, I'm begging you, please pick up your free subscription down below. And until next time, too sweet, have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.